fighting Phil Quinlan, making his way to the cage right now, as Quinlan, a record of 1-1 as an amateur, going to be squaring off against Noah Steinhoff, who is undefeated in his young amateur career at 1-0. Quinlan getting the once over before he steps into the cage, as a tail of the tape shows that Quinlan with a couple inches on Steinhoff as far as height goes, and a slight reach advantage as well, as Quinlan gets checked out, as we will now check out Steinhoff.
And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, Noah Steinhoff.
Steinhoff made his debut back in September, fighting in the Three River Showdown and a unanimous decision over Joey Ahern. So we're still learning about Steinhoff and what he can do. We'll find out more about him tonight in what should be a good one against fighting Phil Quinlan. Let's head up to the cage and get the introduction.
All right, let's hear it for our ring girls. Again, this is three-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. This man weighed in at 160 pounds. Fighting out of Forest Park, Illinois, and representing Intercept MMA, he is fighting Phil Quinlan. Standing across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner. He also weighed in at 160 pounds. Fighting out of Holman, Wisconsin, and representing Ironworks Training Center, Noah Steinhoff.
Steinhoff and Quinlan just about set to go. Fighting Phil Quinlan out of Forest Park, Illinois. For those of you that are not aware of where Forest Park is, just outside of Chicago, and actually has a lot of history with mob ties and what have you in Forest Park. But we'll see now if the hit can be put on Noah Steinhoff, as Quinlan and Steinhoff getting into it early on here, as Steinhoff looking to stop a takedown, and he does. Good job to stay on his feet, but now he finally goes down.
Yeah. Good exchange of knees there in the clinch, and then big head outside single and a lift from Quinlan. Steinhoff, you know, doing just a tiny bit of cheating, holding on to the cage a little bit, but hey, that's what you got to do sometimes to stop the takedown, and that's the game you play when you're in there. Game of inches, just enough that the ref doesn't call it, but Quinlan still in control, holding against the cage, little strike. Steinhoff finding knees here and there, but you know, really just trying to make space and probably get off the cage from what I can tell.
Hey, listen, if the ref doesn't call it, it's not cheating.
Absolutely.
That's how it works, as Quinlan now trying to put some knees on to Steinhoff. Also, a couple of good right hands as well, working the body of Steinhoff early. Steinhoff answering with a knee that got really close to causing a little bit of a stoppage here, as you know what happens sometimes in the cage. And now Steinhoff breaking away and throwing a couple of good uppercuts that landed on Quinlan.
Yeah, a couple good strikes. If I'm in Steinhoff's corner, he's a shorter guy. I tell him don't worry about kicking. He's doing good inside dirty boxing, and kicking's going to open up what Quinlan wants, which is he wants the takedowns. And Steinhoff just isn't long enough to kick and keep himself out of harm's reach. So he's going to have to look. He's got an underhook here. He's looking to pry that underhook up and get Quinlan off that leg. But again, Quinlan lifts, tries to go to a double, misses, and dirty boxing is in favor of Steinhoff. He's just got to do it in a way where he's not getting rammed up against the cage wall.
And he has spent some time here in the first round and now taken down once again with just about a minute left to go in the first round. So Quinlan scoring a couple of takedowns, got some knees in there as well. And now Steinhoff has to fight off Quinlan, who from behind is trying to get that choke in, but good job by Steinhoff to block.
Yeah, Quinlan definitely just wants a submission. You see the little baby punches. He's trying to distract him to get that rear naked choke. And you can even tell by like just his fighting style and even the shorts he's wearing, they got that little purple stripe. I could be mistaken, but I'm fairly certain those are MMA shorts that signify your ranking in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which means that he's a purple belt. And generally speaking, if you're wearing shorts like that, that's a pretty good tell to your game. As we can see right here, he wants to get the takedown, get on top where he feels most comfortable, and get a submission. And just from the apparel he's wearing, the way he's fighting, and even those little baby shots right there, he's just scoring points. He wants to save his strength and just annoy Steinhoff enough to get some space to get a submission. He's not really looking to do damage and knock him out with those punches.
Been doing a good job of it here in first round. A good one for fighting Phil Quinlan. We'll go to round number 2 next from the Monona Terrace on TVW. Action from round number 1. There was a takedown by Quinlan. He scored 3 of them in the first round. Steinhoff doing his best to try to block those takedowns, but just not much he can do, as Quinlan was able to get him on the mat 3 times. Quinlan up around, as if you are Steinhoff then now.
Oh, and they're taking a point away for that cage and fence grab from Steinhoff. So the ref did catch that. Now he is post-round taking the point at his discretion.
So it was cheating then, as we heard from the ref. So Steinhoff now going to probably need a finish to win this one, as that probably puts him 2 points behind with these 2 rounds to go.
Ooh.
Quinlan again going right for a takedown against Steinhoff. Man, what does Steinhoff need to do to keep Quinlan off of him?
So he kind of did the right thing at first, right? He let the hands go a little bit more, but he's got to get those underhooks he did, but he's really got to stay away from the cage. He's going to have to fight him in the middle and really sprawl and just kind of defend some of those takedowns. And here again, he's trying to work up to his feet, much better than the first round staying against the cage wall. So here, and this is fine if you want to separate the hands, but he's got to get some offense going. And he, again, has to stay in the middle. You might have to sprawl. You might have to defend some shots out in the open, but it's better than getting just cooked against the wall here, where you don't really have any space to strike and really do any sort of meaningful damage, because otherwise, you know, it's going to be this or this up against the cage fence. And right now, Steinhoff looks kind of drained from the bigger guy, as Quinlan looks to take the back here, and again, trying to go for that rear naked choke.
Yeah, another time that he's going for that rear naked choke, but now Steinhoff, a good reversal indeed, looking to do some ground and pound on Quinlan, as Steinhoff able to land a couple of rights, but nothing really too big yet on Quinlan.
Yeah, Quinlan's doing a good job. He was keeping his guard there, keeping space. I mean, if I'm Quinlan, if you want to be on the ground, you could attack from your guard too, but there again, he got enough space. If I was Steinhoff, I maybe would have gone to the center and just stood up and let him get to his feet. Now you got to deal with this guy on you again against the cage wall, and he's kind of stuck in a goofy spot. Yeah, And you see the wincing and the grimacing on his face. He's just getting gassed in there, dealing with a larger opponent from what it seems, looking from the outside in, just being all over him and making him carry his weight.
Quinlan trying to suck the air out of Steinhoff, like you said, make him carry his weight, putting pressure on him, pushing him up against the cage, and all of this kind of draining Steinhoff right now as he is just, like you said, you call it a goofy position. He's just in a position where he can't do too much.
Yeah, so before what I was alluding to is Steinhoff kind of had his ankles jammed underneath his butt and like into the cage wall. It looked kind of uncomfortable, but now he's just, this is just good old-fashioned cage control, and Quinlan doing a good job. He's getting that one-on-one on the outside. Steinhoff's just holding on to that little headlock, lets it go, and he's just grabbing onto stuff to make Quinlan work a little bit harder and maybe find some space. But, it seems that Steinhoff's kind of just conceded the position, and Quinlan's just going to kind of ride on top, pepper some little shots here and there, and probably, maybe work for that rear naked maybe one more time as we got a little less than 30 seconds left in the round.
Quinlan known as kind of a grinder, and he has been grinding here in the second round. Nice job by Steinhoff to get back to his feet, but he just can't shake Quinlan off of him.
Yeah, again, Quinlan's just on him like glue. 10 seconds left. I would say that's probably going to be another round in the bag for Quinlan.
Yeah, Steinhoff almost able to break free, but Quinlan won't let him go as we will go to the third and final round. Quinlan looking to finish off Steinhoff here on TVW. That's what we thought. Both fighters getting their final instruction as we are getting set for the third and final round between Quinlan and Steinhoff. Just our second fight of the night out of 6 to go past the first round. We've had some quick finishes so far tonight, but this one going into the third and final round, Steinhoff is really going to need a finish now. So he had a point taken away from him in the first round, plus we believe that Quinlan pretty decisive rounds 1 and 2 means that Steinhoff is a finish or a loss here.
So that's a much better beginning of the round for Steinhoff. He's got to circle towards the middle, though, doing much better getting the underhooks, digging them up, making space. And now he's trying to stuff the head. The only thing I didn't like that Steinhoff did at the very beginning, he threw a low kick. If the guy wants to take you down, don't kick at his legs. You probably don't want to kick that much at all, but if you do, it's going to be high or high middle. But here, again, I ditched the guillotine, try to get those underhooks, make some space. Maybe he thinks he can get that, but I doubt it right now. His corner's saying, let go of the guillotine, get your underhooks, try to get back to the middle. Kind of like that first sequence we just saw. That was a much better shot right there because he's cranking on it, but
he's still
maybe
on
he
that
has
guillotine.
It didn't look like it was that tight to me, but Quinlan backing off and backing away, he might actually have that.
Right now, it looks like it's pretty good. Steinhoff needed a finish. He is trying to get one here in the third round, and Quinlan is able to get out of it. Wow.
Steinhoff in on his own takedown. I would have broke away and just gone with the hands myself, but maybe Steinhoff feels something now that if he can get on top, maybe he's got a chance. Nice little inside sweep. Now he's on top, almost got himself in a guillotine, but he's really going to have to let that ground and pound go and open something up, which is going to be hard with no elbows as amateurs. He's doing a good job, though, posturing up, looking for stuff, framing on the inside, and Quinlan's just got to hold on for the next minute and 30 seconds.
Couple of shots landed there by Steinhoff, but Quinlan doing a nice job of being able to keep him off of him, at least keep Steinhoff off of him for the most part, using his legs, pushing Steinhoff back, and now Steinhoff really trying to get free of Quinlan to try and land some shots here in the final round. Just over a minute left.
Yeah, Steinhoff's just got to posture up as much as he can and go. He's going to have to take some risks. At this point, if he doesn't finish, he loses. So, why not? Open up, big punches, put yourself in a little bit of danger. You're going to have to. No risk, no reward. Like that, he's getting close to being stuck in some submissions, but that's what it's going to take to finish this fight. And either that, or when you feel him open up for that submission, go back to your feet, see if you can't get the knockout.
So Steinhoff right now needs to get busy inside of 40 seconds. He's back
There
on his
you go.
feet like you suggested.
Little too close. He did a good job. He made space. Maybe if he would have stayed away and tried to ground and pound from up there, that would have been fine. But it's a mistake guys make. They come back in because they want to stay in control, and now he gives up another takedown.
And more points there for Quinlan as he gets another takedown here in the closing seconds of round number 3. Final 10 seconds going to be ticking away here as Steinhoff in a bit of trouble, might be getting his first L as an amateur. Quinlan continues some shots as the bell rings. That'll put an end to this one. We believe it will go into the tally as a win for Phil Quinlan. We'll see if it works out that way when we return to the Monona Terrace on TVW. Well, the wait to get the official decision in a little bit more suspenseful than what I think this decision is going to come down to.
All right,
let's head up to the
applause
cage.
for these two fighters. We go to the judges' scorecard, and we have a unanimous decision. Brandon Mason scores this contest, 29-27. Gabe Sabeda scores the contest, 29-27. And Larry Struck scores it, 30-26. For your winner, fighting out of the red corner, fighting Phil Quinlan.
Unanimous decision for fighting Phil Quinlan. He improves to 2-1, draped in the Irish flag and enjoying his victory. We'll be back with more action right after this on TVW.